Hello, and welcome to another episode of Sneaking Into Movies. I'm your host, Chris, with my co-host, as always, Jason. Jason, how are we doing today?
Staying dry in Florida.
Stay and dry in Florida. That's right. Look at the dedication we have coming right out of back-to-back hurricanes. Here we are, back on the airwaves, back to normal. Okay, Jason, today we're going to be reviewing the instant cinema classic, Wolves. And I say that with deep-rooted sarcasm. Wolves is 2024. It is directed and written by John Watts. Surprised he kept his name on the marquee, but there he is. Starring Brad Pitt, George Clooney, and Amy Ryan. This movie came out on Apple TV. And there we are. Jason, let's start off with this question.
Wait, I do have something real quick
let's go.
to add. Okay, so the other day, Quentin Tarantino, who we made famous in our last video,
yes,
was naming stars, and when asked about George Clooney, he said he's not a movie star. He also suggested Clooney hadn't made a significant film since the year 2000. Clooney's response, visibly upset, which is weird. You're rich. Why do you care what Quentin Tarantino says? Since the millennium, that's kind of my whole effing career, he also said. All right, dude. F off. So, before we dive into the movie, are George Clooney and Brad Pitt still movie stars that have a draw?
No, I don't think they are. I don't think they are at all. Think about. Sorry. Let's start with Brad, and then we'll go to Brad's less talented friend George. Brad Pitt is very talented. Does he have? I don't think he's considered like the sharpest or best actor, but he's very good. He's got a presence. He does great roles. He's a character actor. I'm sorry. Look at that last movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Leonardo DiCaprio is a movie star. Well, I shouldn't say that. Brad Pitt is a movie star, but Brad Pitt is not a leading man anymore. He was fantastic in that movie as a character actor. I think as a character actor, when he plays that second role, I think he shines. I think he does fantastic. I thought Benjamin Button was well done, but that's also with another, David Fincher, good, great director. When you put an actor with a great director, it's going to help him out. But I don't think Brad Pitt could lead a movie. I don't think he has enough draw to lead a movie. And George Clooney, Tarantino is right. When is the last? There was that Michael Mann movie he made where he was like he was like, what was it?
I'm gonna look.
Okay, it was a long time ago, man. I'm trying to look at his IMDb.
What, Michael Clayton was good.
Michael Clayton.
That was 2007.
That's a long time ago, man. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I'm going to bring up his IMDb and we're going to go down here because George Clooney, listen, I remember old George from ER. Remember ER back in the day? Actually, Roseanne. I think I remember in Roseanne. And then he made a series of films, and I thought he was good in them. But he's not, he's just not the leader. He's not,
Gravity?
He can't carry it. Now, Gravity was that his movie? I think that was more of like the film, set, the fantastic director, and she can carry a movie. I mean,
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Okay, Jason, that is
I loved it. I loved it.
What was that made? What was that
2009.
Exactly right. We're going to go down. I'm looking at he did Ticket to Paradise in 2022 with Julia Roberts. Did you see it? No, nobody did. It's terrible. That didn't do well. He directed a movie that did not great about these rowers. These you know what I'm talking about? The rower movie where it's like, are you guys kidding me right now? There was
during Hitler's Olympics, and they're like, that's not an important part of the story.
Nothing's that must have been like, what scripts are available? We'll take it. What's out there? We'll take it. And then I'm looking at Hail Caesar, which was not great. 2016 didn't do well. Tomorrowland, which he wasn't he was the dad, didn't do good. Monuments Men didn't do good. Gravity was just a great film in the way it was filmed. Man, none of these, even The Ides of March, he got carried in that movie. The man has did all these movies. Up in the Air was pretty good, but that was in 2009. It's been a while.
Ocean's
and all
movies.
These, geez, Christmas.
That's early 2000s
movies. Gosh, He's fun when it's like the Ocean's movie. Those are fun because he's part of just the team.
The ensemble.
Brother, Where Art Thou? Part of the team. He's not carrying a movie. There are only a few people who are like, Denzel carries a movie. Leonardo carries a movie. Those guys can like carry a movie because they've got like power.
Yeah.
And he's just too handsome. How do I say that? I mean that as an absolute disrespect. You cannot be handsome and that talented. I'm sorry. You just can't have it all, George. A great wife and all that money from the movies you've done. You can't have it all. You're not going to win an Academy Award, period.
Has he never won one?
No.
Really?
I think he was nominated for Michael Clayton.
70 movies. No, he's won 2 Oscars.
He has? For what?
It literally says won 2 Oscars. Now, I could be lying.
Let's see. What did George Clooney win an Oscar for? Writing,
Best
maybe?
Motion Picture of the Year, Argo. That's... Wait. What else? Hold on. Best performance by an actor in a supporting role, Syriana. But that's supporting role.
He won that? All right. Yeah. All right.
I do know one thing he's good.
Pity. What is it?
He is good at applying monetary pressure to make a candidate that fair and square won step down. Just go, hey, I don't care about democracy. I'm going to step in. I am the arbiter of taste in espresso.
I think he is the reason. I mean, if you're being, and to be honest, that last statement, I was a little shocked when he talked about hosting that Biden event, and he was like dead eye Biden, and I was like, dang, it's turning from inside the house. Well, anyway, my point is, I actually agree with Tarantino there. Maybe a little harsh, but it's a fact. And you kind of coasted once you got married and moved to Lake Como and just being professionally handsome, just like full-time handsome. That's your job now. Sorry, George. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go back before we get. Let's go back to the movie here. We got off on this tangent here. Listen, I have a bias. I get it, but you can't. It's just so rare. You can't have it all, guys. Okay, we're talking about Wolves. Again, Apple TV. Let's start with Jason. Would you recommend this movie?
I'm gonna say no. I wouldn't. No. I just think there's so many better movies you could watch.
There's so many better movies, and it's like, okay, there were some interesting moments, like, all right, kind of interesting little plot stuff going on. But let's just start with this and why it made me like, I was physically mad at the movie. When I first saw it, we talked about this briefly. It's spelled Wolves, based on Wolf from, speaking of Tarantino, I think he has a right to say, you guys based your whole movie off of one character from the movie.
I never even thought about that.
Calling the Wolf. That's what they do. They fix the scene.
Is that an accident?
No, bro. They made the whole movie based on that character. They made Wolves. The Wolf. Yes.
Who is also the brother of one of the robbers in Reservoir Dogs.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, like their characters are actually brothers. That universe I was talking about.
They can't Tarantino.
That's there. Yeah, I didn't even think about. Do
you see how lame that is? That's like the lamest thing you make. I mean, that's like an
homage.
It's an homage, but that's like a film school project. You're making a whole motion picture. You know what I kept thinking about when I first saw that? I was like, God. It annoyed me. And then when it's just like, I can just imagine the read together when it's like Brad calls up Jordan. It's like, guys, hey, I got this movie. And it's like, well, I want to play, like, we're going to play a buddy movie. And, well, I want to play the unfunny one who's not very good at it. And George's like, no, I want to do that. And then they're like, well, I guess we'll both do it. You know what I mean? Come on.
I wanted to like this movie so bad. I was excited when I saw the first trailer. I went, okay, so they just cut a bad trailer, obviously. Yeah. I don't know how you can because you have an hour and a half to work with, but I was like, they must have cut a bad trailer because this just really doesn't look that interesting.
No.
And then I watch it and I'm just going, I know I didn't pay for this, but
I feel ripped off.
Yeah, what one lone wolf plus another lone
Uh,
wolf does not equal Ocean's 14 at
it just
all.
doesn't.
It just wasn't good in the. I forgot the kid's name in the movie.
Yeah.
What is his name? It's I shouldn't even mention
Kid.
it because he
His
was
name is.
so.
I'm looking at it. His name is Kid. The
It's
character's
kid.
name is Kid. That's what I'm saying,
They didn't even take the time to give
dude.
the character a name, and I'm watching it and I'm going, "This is dumb.
This is dumb.
Smoke this kid. Let's go.
Smoke this
Like,
kid.
let's go. This taking too long." And then it's just the whole thing with it was the Croatians and the setup, and I'm just watching it going. The funniest part about it, I'm not. I know you don't like when I get political, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Go for it.
It reminded me of Donald Trump and Joe Biden. When Donald Trump's like, "You're so old," and you're like, "Wait, but you're only a couple years apart." So
Yeah.
this whole movie is a kind of a drumbeat of a joke that Brad Pitt is the young guy on the scene.
Brad Pitt's like 50 years old.
Yeah, and I'm going, wait a second. In the movie, you only look maybe 2 or 3 years apart. I don't know how far apart they are in real life, but I'm going, these old jokes don't work because I'm not seeing like the salt and pepper or silver fox old school guy and the young rookie. Like, this is not what was it, Sneakers with Robert Redford and Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
This is not that. You guys are basically peers.
That's
so
what
it doesn't work. And the guy's like, "Oh, you guys are basically the same person."
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually,
so you're gonna
hold on a
telegraph
second.
the whole movie?
Guess how old is Brad Pitt?
54.
Jason, he's 60 years old, dude. And George Clooney's 63. Brad Pitt is 60 years old. There's some of that magic cream they're putting on.
They got some of that Pharrell cream.
From the Pharrell cream. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna make
exactly. That's my
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
They're
terrible.
only 3 years apart. It really,
Anyway.
I think that was what the crux of the argument for the movie was. It's lone wolf, and the old wolf is getting shown new tricks, and I'm just going, no, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. They should have dyed his hair or something.
It just, God, it annoyed me. Listen, I believe in the power of film and of cinema to take us to new places, expand our consciousness as a species. And the whole time I'm watching this, Jason, I'm like, this money could have been used for anything else. Like helping people, feeding somebody in Africa. Like it's so obscene. Like it must have
cost.
What
was the budget?
It didn't say. They kind of kept it private. I did try to look that up because I didn't want to disclose their salaries. But it's an Apple movie, and Apple is sitting on $1 trillion in cash, which they have decided to burn us for a percentage of on content, which is not making them any money and is a disaster. So they would not have gotten out of bed to make a crappy movie for at least 10 million plus a cut of the quote unquote non-existent box office. But it just annoyed me. It actually it almost is like, how dare you guys? You get all these people together, hundreds of crew and timing and all this, and this is what you do. This is what it felt like a ChatGPT 2 wrote it. Like not even the new chat, like the original one that came out of the box. We're still figuring it out. It was just, God, I'll say this. Let me just say this. There was one part of it I did like, and I'm partial to the actress Amy Ryan. I think Amy Ryan is like fantastic actress. She played the woman, the compromised DA, whatever. She's good because she's just sort of earnest in everything she does. But that's it. I mean,
there's 2 cool parts. I love that he was playing Sade, smooth operator, in the car, and I'm like, okay, I see. Yeah, I see it. You going to work. I got it. And then there was this scene where they were talking to the hotel owner, and she's basically putting them in check, and she's like petting a cat, and you just see like her arm in a silhouette, and I was like, that's totally Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. And I'm going, either I am getting this or you're doing stuff on purpose and you think nobody's noticing. I don't have enough words for how much this was a disappointment.
No, my gosh, Jason.
Now, spoiler alert, I'm going to just ruin it. At the very end of the movie, when they both figure out, oh my God, we work for the same person. What? And I'm going, are you kidding? How did, even the Croatian said, you're not wolves, you're buddies. Even he figured it out. And he was only with you guys for like a couple minutes. I did love the shootout because I love violence and guns and people dying. Other than that, I'm just going, the very end of the movie, I would watch what happens at the diner and after when they go and kill their master. I would watch it. I would watch that. And I would also watch, I don't know, I would kind of like to see before. I would watch the movie.
Backstory of how they got to that?
Not those two. I don't care about those two. I would like to watch the backstory. No, not together. I would watch the backstory of either one just to see like how do you come into being this person?
Yeah.
But the middle, I don't care. I literally don't care.
I was annoyed with it.
I would never watch it again.
No. The director,
even for free.
Yeah. Even for free. The director, John Watts, younger guy, he's sort of known for like the couple Spider-Man movies, like the more recent ones, the more recent Spider-Man, where it's like, okay, that's like a commercial, paint by numbers. You know, there's market testing and like how soon I need to have action here. I need to have, that's like so formulaic. So to take that into this type of like buddy cop type of movie, it just didn't work. I would have rather seen a movie about Wolf with Harvey Keitel than this. And again, these are two friends, and sometimes friends should not do that together, or at least you should bring on a bigger ensemble. Like again, the Ocean's movies sort of worked. I mean, it did work. Those were successful. I can't take that away. The people liked them. It was sort of campy and fun and big sets and the whole cape room because it meant to be entertainment, commercial entertainment. This one was like, again, maybe a lack of identity. It's like, are you trying to be commercial or trying to be indie? It just did not work, Jason. Okay. Well, we've talked about this movie. We wasted an hour and a half of our lives watching it, which we'll never get back. And I'm still like, I held a grudge against George Clooney now. So I don't think it's going to be a high score. But Jason, I'm sorry, before we get to the score, is there anything else you'd like to add about 2024? WOLFs.
There was this very I take notes, so that's why I remember. Okay. But there was one thing I thought was when the kid pops out of the trunk and he's in his underwear and he's running, and I went, is the year 2000 like Apple American Pie movie? What is this? Why is Malcolm's dad running down the road in his tidy whities? And I don't buy for a second that there's anyone under the age of 25 that still owns white briefs. Like, I don't buy it.
You know what?
No, it's just for movies. They wear boxer briefs and boxers. Come on. No, I just, man, I like the score of the movie.
Oh, now we're getting down to the score. We're getting down to
I'm in the weeds.
A shot in the weeds in the car.
I'm in the weeds now. I
bet they had good catering on set. I bet they had great meals on set.
Craft services was amazing.
Seemed like they fed them well. Anyway, Jason. Okay.
Let me just say, I would normally we recommend movies, but I'm going to recommend a TV show this time.
Oh, okay.
If you want to watch a show about a fixer, Ray Donovan is a solid show starring Liev Schreiber.
Yeah, Ray Donovan is solid.
Whatever his name is. Yeah, that's a solid.
Liev Schreiber.
Solid. Sorry, I'm bad at my ethnic names. So yes, that's a solid show. I would recommend that. Okay. I know you're going to ask me for a rating.
Yes, I'm going to ask you for a rating.
I'm going to give it a 2 just because I like both of them. Just because I like them.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna. The movie is a 1.5 to me. It just annoyed me. I mean, it just sort of like again when they're just like trying to out handsome each other, and you can't both play the straight man. I mean, you just can't. Like that just doesn't. What are you doing? When is it?
Wasn't that But wasn't that the point that they're
No.
both kind of? Was that not
It's
the
not
point? They're both
Abbott
the
and
same
Abbott.
person.
It's not Costello and Costello, my guys. You got to have a little, what's the this is older my time, but what's like Jerry Lewis's partner, Dean and Lewis?
Martin.
Yeah, like you got to have the interplay together. The Rob and Big, the fat guy and the skinny guy. You can't both just suck, and that's what they did, and that's what this movie's at one point complete unforgettable disaster, and has cemented George Clooney into like a complete path to mediocrity here. So let's hope he redeems himself with like a John Travolta comeback where maybe Tarantino puts him in his last film as sort of a redemption here. But he's only good when he has a good director. I mean, he is only good when he has a good director. And a good actor can supersede the director, but a mediocre actor gets exposed.
What would you recommend in kind of this genre?
In this genre?
Buddy movie, Fixers. Was it Michael Clayton, a Fixer movie?
Yeah, it was. That was okay. Michael Clayton was okay. I mean, there's a movie called The Fixer.
Who was in that?
Inside Man. I don't know. The Fixer. I'm looking. Oh, it's John Voight. I
don't know that one.
No, you won't. No one knows that one. I thought Michael Clayton. If I'm going to recommend a movie, it's Michael Clayton. The one movie I kind of thought George Clooney had something to it, where he was trying. Like it didn't even seem like he was trying. He was going for this like understated. It's just a failure.
He was very cool. He was just very cool and laid back.
Yeah, great.
The luggage cart trick was cool.
Jason, okay, we're getting down.
I know, I'm in the weeds.
Jason, come on, man. We got all this. It's like I only have so much time to watch a movie, and it's like you better bring it. And they did not bring it, and that's why you get a 1.5. Jason, wrapping up Wolves 2024. Okay, any last thoughts?
Watch something else.
Okay, watch something else. Thank you so much for joining. Come back for another episode. Sneaking into movies.